So you and me are going to do a sustainability pact this year. While I was looking back on the previous year, I just felt very overwhelmed with trying to maintain my sustainability journey, trying to avoid greenwashing, trying to avoid all the marketing tactics that are out there that are trying to get you to buy new stuff constantly, because it's really hard to resist these things. And as someone that likes to think of themselves as an environmentalist, it's really challenging to kind of decide what you're actually doing right or wrong for the planet. On one hand, you've got people that are living these, zero waste, environmentally friendly lifestyles so easily on social media, and you feel quite judged that you're not doing the same thing, or you feel like you're slacking, or you're not good enough, or you're not doing enough. And on the other hand, when you're trying to speak to friends and family about stuff, or you're trying to educate people around you to try and join in with the sustainability journey that you're on, you feel like people either don't care enough, or you're just very isolated in the way that you think, because you're the only one that's passionate about the environment and everyone else is kind of like, meh, don't really care. So I'm presuming if I'm feeling like this, then you are too if you're watching this video. So I thought that this could be a good benchmark for a video that will start in the new year, or any time that you're actually watching this video. This can be implemented whenever. It doesn't have to be a New Year's resolution. So if you're anything like me and you've not really got anyone to speak to about sustainability, or you're wanting to learn new things, then you can come on this journey with me. I'm going to hopefully document this as a series throughout the whole year to keep each other on track, and you can follow along with the sorts of things that I'm changing in my lifestyle, the things that I'm learning about, and how we can all be more eco-friendly together. You're coming in here because I've got some wiping around to do. So the inspiration that I had for this video was from when I was doing some research on what more I could do as an environmentalist or an eco-friendly person this year. And it's like a minefield online, because everywhere that you look, you either feel like you're being judged, or you literally can't live a normal life because everything that you do is toxic, it's polluting the planet, it's creating carbon emissions, it's full of plastic, but then also other alternatives to plastic aren't good because they create a lot of carbon emissions, and if you don't use them enough, then it's not worth it swapping from the plastic alternative. And my head just kind of just blew up. So I think this series, if anything, is going to hopefully help reassure you that what you're doing is good enough, and what you're doing, as long as you're doing something, even if you're wanted to do something but you can't do it yet, that's a step in the right direction. Because we've just had Christmas and New Year, and everyone's getting presents, and then everyone's also buying stuff online in the Boxing Day sales or New Year sales. It's really overwhelming to see the amount of stuff that's marketed to you, and we're told as an environmentalist that we can't buy anything because buying anything is overconsumption and it's destroying the planet. And I feel like that as well, and it kind of makes me feel anxious every time that I look to buy something. I'm questioning my morals and my sanity, is there an alternative to plastic-free things? Most of the time there is, sometimes there isn't. Can I buy this second-hand instead? When I actually go to look for something that's second-hand, it's not there, so it's like, well, do I really need to buy the new thing? But there's no alternative, there's no second-hand thing. So I feel really torn all the time, and it's so stressful. And on top of climate anxiety anyway, this need for being a perfect environmentalist and this, perfect sustainability lifestyle puts a lot of pressure on people, and it creates a lot of anxiety when there's no need really. We don't live in a society where it's possible to be 100% eco-friendly, 100% plastic-free, sustainable, zero carbon emission all the time. It's just not realistic because we're not built in that sort of world. So from all my waffling in this video, I'm basically trying to say that it's okay to not be perfect. You shouldn't deprive yourself of things that you want or you need, even if it has plastic on it, even if it's brand new, because a lot of the time we can't help that. But the fact that you're trying to either seek alternatives or live a more sustainable lifestyle is the right way to go. And I feel the same, so this is where we can kind of go forward in the new year and look at what we can do together. We can recommend each other things, we can say, what other people have been doing that you could probably implement, and what things that I possibly won't recommend if you're just starting your sustainability journey. I hope that would be helpful as well. To think all of this kind of came about while I was thinking about, do I buy a nail kit as like a treat yourself present, in the sales this year? And I've always never done my nails. I've always been like, it's a waste of plastic, you know, it's so wasteful, you wear them for a few weeks and it's full of chemicals, blah blah blah, you know, it's not good for the ocean because it chips off and it's microplastics, blah 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 blah, everything. And I'm like, although that's probably true, if I thought about that about every single thing in my life, I wouldn't have anything. So I'm thinking, I do a lot for the environment, and you know, you probably think that, oh well, I do this so I could probably do this. It's like, do I just allow myself to buy like a nail kit so I can have nice nails for my videos and not feel guilty about it because it's not great for the planet, because I'm doing all this other stuff? It's the same with travel as well, because I know a few people have commented like, why are you an environmentalist? Why do you still care about sustainability when you're still getting on planes and traveling to different places in the world? And I kind of get that, and I also do feel very guilty of it. However, you can still travel and you can still see the world and still be an environmentalist. You can still do things that aren't necessarily great for the planet while still doing other things that are good for the planet, that might even outweigh each other. For me, travel has been such a big part of my entire life. Like ever since I was 2-3 years old, I wanted to be scuba diving on the Great Barrier Reef, and I wanted to go visit Australia and work with Steve Irwin in his zoo. May that amazing man rest in peace. And if I stop myself from seeing the world and kind of suppressing that big passion of mine that literally my whole life revolves around now, I would literally have nothing to enjoy or nothing to look forward to. Because that to me, going seeing new places, exploring the culture, diving in all these different places around the world, learning about different animals and the different environments and ecosystems that I see, that to me is so much more worthwhile than depriving yourself just because you're emitting more carbon emissions. Because at the end of the day, you can take your life experience and make such a difference to the planet that you're on anyway. So how are people supposed to educate one another? How are people supposed to make people care about these places like the Great Barrier Reef that's in danger of, you know, climate change, ocean acidification, rising temperatures? How are people supposed to care if they don't see these places? They see it for themselves, and then that ignites the fire in them that gets them so passionate that they want to speak about it all the time. That is literally why I started this YouTube channel, to be able to speak about my experiences, to educate you guys, to hopefully inspire you and get you passionate about the same things that I am. You know, go and see the world before, unfortunately, a lot of these places are being destroyed by humans. Climate change is affecting a lot of these places as well. So it's like we need to kind of go see these places and do these things that may not be great for the environment so we can actually tackle it and save it together. Because if we don't do that, no one cares and no one will do anything about it. I think that's my rant over. I think finances are really important as well, because not everyone can afford to do the things that you and me can do. And a lot of people can afford to do so much more than you and me can do. It's, you know, that's just how money works. If you have money, you can do more things and you can buy more things. Obviously, that's not always a good thing, but I digress. But I think through the power of education, social media, me creating content for you is my way of, you know, I'm in this privileged position where sometimes when I've got enough money and I've got time off work, I can go and explore these places. I can show you how amazing they are, inspire you to go and visit these sorts of places as well, and also inspire you to help protect these places like what I'm trying to do as well. I'm trying to be as environmentally conscious as possible so we can preserve these places for people like you and me to keep visiting, and also for like our children and our grandchildren to still have when they're older. Because at this rate, there's going to be like nothing left for them. Right, so anyway, I went completely off tangent there. The whole point of me wanting to start this sort of series and making this video for you is to sort of hold myself accountable, educate you on the sort of things that I've been learning, the sort of swaps that I'm doing, what I used to do but possibly isn't that great and that you maybe shouldn't do. And I just thought it'd be very helpful for you if you're just starting your sustainability journey, you're wanting to learn more about the world, you're wanting to learn how to protect it but you don't know where to start, or you're like me where you're kind of like halfway through, you're feeling really overwhelmed, you don't know what to do next, and you're also panicking because you've just spent all your money on all these eco-friendly products that you figured out that are actually not that eco-friendly, which I've been there, done that, don't worry. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you relate to any of that waffle that I just said. It'd be really interesting to hear if you're like me and feel the same way as well. You feel overwhelmed sometimes, you don't know what to do next, or you just want that person to kind of do things with. Because I don't have anyone else in my life at the moment that is as passionate about sustainability, our oceans, traveling and seeing the world as I am. So this is me kind of reaching out to you as well, saying, hello, do you want to join me with my adventures and my sustainability journey? Move you. I was just moving you because I need to clean. So with all that waffle out the way, I thought that I'd be able to end this video with showing you a few things that I've learnt and a few things that I've bought this year to help me with my sustainability journey, help me go more plastic free, zero waste. I've got a list of things that I need to buy that essential stuff like I'm running out of, so it's like cat litter. I have 2 cats, if you've not already seen them in my videos, they're all over the place. You'll also see them on my Instagram stories as well. So I need cat litter, which again, it's one of those products that I'm like, oh my god, is there an eco-friendly alternative? Because it's so wasteful and none of my cats typically don't go outside and do their business. So everything is done inside and I'm constantly having to buy cat litter, which is expensive. So while I'm already paying for it, I might as well find an eco-friendly alternative. And if you didn't already know, like the clay litters that you get aren't great for the environment. They're mined specifically for cat litter and they're also really dusty as well. So if you've got like asthma or any allergies, it's really not great when you're shoveling that all the time. And it'll probably affect your cat as well, the fact that they're actually using it and not you. So please hold, I will show you what I've just got.
A few moments later.
By the way, if you're not living in the UK, some of these might not be available to you, or you might not be able to get them online. And even if you can get them online, just check that if it's actually worth the shipping and the CO2 emissions shipping it from the UK to, say, America or wherever, because most of the time it isn't. So try and find an alternative in your country. So this is what I found at the moment. I've seen it all over my social media and I was like, oh god, I'm being marketed to again. I'm a victim here again. So Catkin is a brand that do cat litter and also do natural cat food as well. So I've not got the cat food at the moment because my cats are really, really fussy. If you've got cats, I'm sure you can relate. And I'm currently spending about £30 a month on cat litter at the moment. So I thought, while I'm buying it already, is there an eco-friendly alternative? Previously, I was buying the recycled paper stuff, but that really didn't smell nice. And also, if it was wet ever so slightly, my cats didn't like to use the litter and they'd use elsewhere in my house instead, which isn't great. So I decided to try out Catkin, which is the first time that my cats have used it, and they were a bit suspicious about it at first because it does actually smell really nice. I'm not sure what makes it smell nice, but my cats were like, it actually smells weird. So anyway, I'm rambling here, so I'll just quickly go. It's plant-based, it's 100% biodegradable, it cuts out food waste and cuts out litter in landfill. So it's one of those absorbing cat litters that clumps together and then you can just bin the clumps rather than binning the whole litter every, few days or so. And it even says on this packaging as well that clay litter is strip mined, which causes pollution, loss of habitats and erosion of natural landscapes. So it's good that they're kind of educating people on why this is a good alternative. I do need to do more research and actually see if this is greenwashed in any way, but always don't trust the label because you never know if it's greenwashing or not, so do your own research. So this particular litter is made from food industry waste, it's made from pea fibre and millet litter, so it's 100% plant-based, sustainable and biodegradable. So as long as it's plant-based, it's not using any sort of things that are mined, and it's from food waste as well. So that's kind of like ticking a few boxes for me. The only thing that I don't like is that the paper on the outside is recyclable, but on the inside, I'm presuming to keep the cat litter dry because otherwise it'll clump, that's lined and that's not recyclable at the moment. So you would have to peel apart both layers there to recycle one part and then bin the other. So that's the only part that I don't really like so far. My cats seem to like it, it smells really nice, so that's one of the things that I've bought just before January. One of the brands that I've been using for a long time that I want to continue using into the new year is Ocean Saver. So you've probably seen that I have plastic bottles around my kitchen, but this plastic bottle I've had for absolutely ages because I fill them up with Ocean Saver Eco Drops, which are basically just your disinfectant, your kitchen cleaner, your bathroom cleaner, glass cleaner, all those sorts of bottles that you'd buy at the supermarket, but they're just these little drops and they just dissolve in warm water, and you just shake them about in these bottles, and that's really concentrated cleaner that you can just clean your house with. So the fact that these are in these little eco drops, it minimises the weight of water that's being transported, so that saves CO2 emissions there. They're also plant-based and they're also biodegradable as well. No plastic waste involved, so I really like these ones. And they do come with these stickers, which I presume are like compostable, biodegradable, and you can basically put those on your bottles to show you how many bottles you're saving every time that you use an eco drop. I personally don't do these because I ended up having so many stickers on that they were peeling off and they were really annoying me. So I just left those off. So these are a really good alternative as well if you really love cleaning. I personally hate the chemical bleach smell when you're cleaning your house. It gives me a really bad headache, and also it just shows that you're inhaling all these different chemicals when you're cleaning your house. Another thing as well, just to note while I'm on this, don't mix your cleaning products, because the cleaning products that have chemicals in will cause chemical reactions that you're probably not aware of and emit all these different fumes that you're inhaling, so don't do that. I've seen it all over TikTok where people are doing, you know, clean talk, and they'll put like 15 different bleaches in the toilet bowl, mix them all together and make it foam up. For one, that's a waste, and for two, you're probably making a toxic concoction in your toilet bowl that you're inhaling, so don't do that. So anyway, with Ocean Saver, I use them all the time. I've got, you know, I'm going to show you actually. I've got a cupboard up there with Ocean Saver stuff. I will get it down in a second. I'll get you these down. So Ocean Saver also do dishwasher tablets, which are pretty new, and we've only just got a dishwasher in our kitchen because we had to rip out our old kitchen because it was falling apart. So we got a dishwasher, so we use those all the time now. Got another pack there. I like to bulk buy things, so I'll just have a lot of different boxes of the same thing just so I don't run out and I'm not stressing having to buy things all the time, which bulk buying sometimes can also save you money, and it's also better for the environment, just FYI, but also do your research. And then I also have the non-biologic detergent tabs, which are child safe. I can't nearly get in there then. They also have the sheets as well, and I've used both, but at the moment I'm using the pods. I just wanted to try both out, and I've currently still got loads of pods left. So again, these are plastic free, they're in a plastic free box, and they're natural, plant-based, and they're better for the ocean as well because they're not full of chemicals and plastic. So definitely give those a try. This is not sponsored. I've just been using them for years. I just highly recommend them. They're also a UK startup company, so I love to support small businesses. And to be fair, they're that big now that they're in a lot of supermarkets, and you can also buy them on Amazon in bulk as well. So check those out. Again, because we have a dishwasher now, we don't really wash up anymore, but when we do, we use compostable, natural sponges. I still see people using those yellow and green sponges that are just made of plastic, and every time they rub off and they disintegrate into your sink, that's microplastics going into your waterways and potentially into the ocean. So we want to prevent microplastics entering our oceans wherever possible, and to be fair, these are just as cheap. They last probably a lot longer because they're natural fibres and they're not just kind of like little bits of plastic that just fall off every 2 seconds. So I recommend getting yourself natural sponges. That's a really quick fix for reducing plastic in your kitchen. Another thing that I've not bought yet that is on my shopping list is recycled, unbleached toilet paper. Now, we just normally bulk buy toilet paper where we can from our supermarket, and when we bulk buy it, obviously we're saving on plastic and it's a bit cheaper as well. But a lot of the times your toilet roll is fragranced, it's bleached, and there's literally no need for it to be like that. I know a lot of people like their scented, really thick toilet paper, but at the end of the day, it's toilet paper. You're spending money to basically throw it down the toilet. So I don't see the point in that. So there's a few different brands that I want to research and see what's cheapest for us and also what's going to be working well for us. And I've looked at Naked Sprout and Who Gives a Crap, which are two quite big brands. And I'm probably leaning more towards Naked Sprout because they're unbleached and they're recycled paper. And I think they're cheaper as well, but again, I need to have a look and see, I need to price compare. But I do like the brand Who Gives a Crap because they wrap all of their toilet rolls in tissue paper that you can reuse, and it's also really pretty, so it looks nice in your bathroom as well. But personally, I don't care about that sort of aesthetic for my house, so I'm just going to go for whatever's cheapest, but also what's better for the planet. So do your research, and again, just check if any of these brands are in your country because you might have to find alternatives. So those are a few products that I'm already using or will be using next year. Let me know if you're already using any of these or if you're wanting to try any of these. Again, none of these are sponsored. These are just things that I buy myself and that I recommend that might work for you as well. So make sure you do your own research, buy what you can afford, buy only what you need, and buy what works best for you. Which leads me to another point actually before I wrap up this video. I feel like I've ranted a little bit in this video. It's a new style of video for me. Normally I script things like to the full stop, but I'm trying not to do that as well. I'm trying to get more confident in the camera, I hope you can tell. But one thing I'm going to stop doing in 2024, and something that you could potentially look into stop doing or just not attempting at any time of the year, is to not buying things just because they're eco-friendly, just because they're zero waste, just because they're plastic free. There's a few points as to why I want to do this, and the main point is probably because a lot of the time things are greenwashed to look better than they actually are. You need to do your research. Although greenwashing terms are becoming illegal to use without evidence in the EU in the next few months, few years hopefully, you still need to do your research and actually see if these brands are actually as sustainable as they make out to be. Because at the end of the day, being eco-friendly and sustainable are buzzwords that are really heavily used in marketing materials these days to stand out from the crowd. So with anything, do your own research, make sure you're researching the sort of things that these companies are doing, where they're manufacturing, what sort of materials they're using in their manufacturing. Are they saving more CO2 rather than like plastic alternatives? You need to just have a look at this and see what's best. And I know it's really overwhelming if you're suddenly starting your sustainability journey and you're wanting to go on plastic free, zero waste, and you're thinking that you need to buy all these different things like cute little mason jars and wooden and metal cutlery and loads of different things that you probably wouldn't even use day to day in the first place, but because they're marketed as sustainable materials and sustainable products, you think that you need them in your life to live a more eco-friendly lifestyle, which is not the case. And also, just on that point, before you buy anything, think, do I actually need it yet, or am I buying it because I want to be zero waste or it's an eco-friendly alternative but I've still got other things to use up first? For example, makeup. I'm taking this from experience here. So the other day I saw a brand that did refillable makeup, which I've not seen before in the UK that often, and I thought, oh my gosh, to be sustainable I need to buy all this refillable makeup because it's zero waste, it's plastic free, and you know, for me to be able to call myself an environmentalist I need to buy all these products. And then I thought, I can't actually afford all this. That was the main thing, but then also I've still got makeup to use left, so there's no point me buying new things when I've still got old stuff to use. So this can apply to any sort of product that you have. Use what you've got first before you buy new stuff, because at the end of the day, if you just leave the old stuff and you start using the new stuff, because you will do because it's brand new and you want to use it, if you leave the old stuff, that's technically more waste. So you want to use up what you have first. And I'm going to cut it there because I think this is a bit of a rant of a video, but I hope this was helpful for you. I hope you feel inspired to kind of take on this journey together with me. We can keep each other accountable with stuff. I can recommend some stuff to you. And please let me know if you've got any tips and tricks, if you've got any brands you want to recommend to me as well. Drop them down in the comments or message me on socials. I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok. Drop me a message and yeah, we can start this together, and hopefully this will be a fun journey to start in 2024 or whenever you're watching this video. If you're wanting to stick around, I've got a few more videos on eco-friendly tips and sustainability, so you can go check those out. And hopefully in 2024, I am going to be providing more travel content for you guys and also more ocean themed content. You can check out my YouTube shorts and my Instagram reels for all that sort of travel, ocean vibe thing, but I do need to start documenting my travel and my scuba diving as in like YouTube format. So stay tuned for that stuff. If you don't already, please subscribe so you don't miss any more videos like this. And yeah, I hope you have a great new year, a great January, a great whatever month you're watching this in, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye!